Y'all done made the GOAT mad. Y'all done made the GOAT mad, and I don't blame her, okay? It's already too much foolishness going on with this crooked WNBA CBA stance that they're taking, okay?
What if I told you this isn't just frustration? This is a full-blown superstar meltdown brewing in real time. Because that right there, that's not normal emotion, folks. That's the sound of a generational talent who is completely fed up. We're talking about a player already battling through a league-wide contract crisis that's putting the entire 2026 season on thin ice, and now she's got to fight her own front office too? That's not pressure, that's chaos. When a franchise cornerstone starts questioning the system around her, that's when things get dangerous. And trust me, what happened next only made it worse. Check this out.
Second season in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever was limited to 13 games due to a series of injuries, including groin and ankle problems. Despite her absence, including groin and ankle problems, teammates Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell powered the Fever to the semifinals of the 2025 WNBA playoffs before they fell to the Las Vegas Aces in overtime of game.
That clip was wild, wasn't it? You could feel the tension through the screen. And now it's official. Caitlin Clark just went on the offensive and publicly called out the Indiana Fever. That's not a subtle jab. That's a franchise player sending a message. And the reason behind it. It exposes a disturbing pattern that should have Fever management sweating bullets right now. Let's be real, her contract isn't forever. This isn't a lifetime deal. When you've got a generational superstar in her prime and you're running things like it's amateur hour, that's how you lose dynasties before they even start. Sloppy decisions, weak communication, no sense of urgency, that's exactly how you push elite talent to start thinking about packing those bags. And what she pointed out next? Oh, it takes this beef to a whole different level. Watch this.
What is that? What is that? Why does it look like this?
Charging Gustafson.
Who's in who? Yo, I heard the social media team, somebody got fired. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. Who posted this? Who's responsible for this low-level, low-quality crap that got
Nile?
Who's responsible for this? What are we talking about?
Okay, did you catch that energy shift in the clip? That wasn't random. So let me break down exactly what went down here, because this is where things start getting messy. The Indiana Fever social media squad drops a highlight reel hyping up Aaliyah Boston for her straight-up dominant defensive run in the unrivaled league. We're talking a savage 24 blocks, leading the entire pack. On paper, that's a W. That's the kind of post that's supposed to fire up the fanbase, build chemistry, show unity, and remind everybody that this roster has dogs. It should have been a clean celebration moment. No controversy, no smoke. But the way it was handled, that's where the storm started brewing. And what happened after that post went live? Yeah, you're gonna want to see this.
Talking about this, okay? Caitlin Clark said, it says, Clark caught a glimpse of the Fever's post, but immediately noticed something wrong with the video, sharing a complaint in the comments. Respectfully, how am I supposed to watch this? Clark wrote, now I have a migraine. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all not on point, man. And this goes beyond the video. Y'all not on point all around. You got Stephanie White running around talking about how.
And that clip you just saw. Yeah, now here's where it gets straight up baffling. Because instead of riding that momentum, the Indiana Fever turn around and upload the highlight in quality so bad it's basically unwatchable. I'm not talking a little grainy. I'm talking distorted, pixelated, migraine-inducing footage that looks like it got compressed through a 2005 flip phone and sent over dial-up. This is a professional franchise, not a middle school AV club. You've got Jefferson in the paint looking like a walking blob of pixels. What in the world was that? In an era where branding is everything and superstars are built on presentation, you cannot afford to look Bush League online. And the reaction from fans, and more importantly from inside the locker room, that's where this whole thing really started to explode. Roll this next clip.
as Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings are scheduled to come to Indianapolis. However, the 2026 season is in jeopardy thanks to the stalemate between the league and the players over a new CBA agreement. Indiana Fever got to get on point, man. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that y'all did this. Like, not having it together. I mean, come on, man. Come on. She's already annoyed with the CBA.
Now did you see that reaction? Because this is where it goes from sloppy to straight up personal. I want you to really lock in on Caitlyn's response to that mess. She jumps in the comments and says, quote, "Respectfully, how am I supposed to watch this? Now I have a migraine." Read that again. That's not random. That wording is calculated. When Caitlin Clark opens with "respectfully," that's not politeness, that's a warning shot. That's superstar code for, "I'm holding it together, barely." That's the professional athlete version of being 2 seconds away from flipping a table but choosing PR over chaos. And when your franchise player feels the need to publicly check her own organization over basic quality control, that's not just a joke, that's frustration leaking through the cracks. But here's the real kicker. How the organization responded next made this whole situation even more savage. Watch this.
Twitter and the internet, they like to read the tea leaves, and look, they were right. Angel Reese returned to Unrivaled, so they be getting it right sometimes. We can't just always knock them and complain and say they don't know what they're talking about, and then sometimes they do get it right. But it was, announced that Brianna Stewart is going to be returning to EuroLeague play. Okay, and that surprised some people because of the timing for it.
It wasn't the timing. It's the whole thing of it's.
And here's the part you absolutely cannot ignore. She didn't DM anybody. She didn't quietly text the social media intern. She didn't send some polished email to the GM. She dropped that comment right there in the public section where the entire basketball world could see it. That wasn't accidental. That was intentional. When a superstar chooses the comment section over a private channel, that's not about video resolution anymore. That's a warning shot across the bow of the whole organization. Now I know some folks are saying, relax, it's just one bad post. Nah. This isn't about one glitchy highlight. This is about patterns. This is about small mistakes stacking up until your franchise player starts questioning the machine. When basic execution keeps fumbling at every level, it signals something deeper. A culture problem, a competence problem, the kind of internal sloppiness that slowly rots a franchise from the inside out. And if you think that doesn't matter to a generational star trying to build a legacy, oh, it absolutely does. But wait until you see how this connects to the bigger contract drama looming over the league.
Of interest. I don't care what none of y'all say. This whole Unrivaled situation, all of this stuff is a conflict of interest. Okay, they said that Unrivaled was being created so that people did not have to go overseas. Well, you're in Unrivaled, so what are you still going overseas for? Y'all said it was too much on your body. Why are you doing it then? Why are you doing it? That's what I'm saying. A lot of the people in the WNBPA, they've been lying this whole time, bro. I'm be honest with y'all. A lot of people in the WNBPA been lying. And it's just coming out slowly but surely. Don't forget, we had players come out and say they feel like the WNBPA is being greedy. We had players come out and say that in an interview. What are we talking about here? It's a lot going on. My eyes peeled, ears to the streets.
That last clip. Yeah, that adds layers to this whole situation. Because let's be real, the Indiana Fever have been showing cracks all season. This isn't coming out of nowhere. You've got head coach Stephanie White making public comments about other players being her #1 priority. Then you've got Kelsey Mitchell openly saying she believes in Stephanie White and that it feels like her team. That's not random locker room chatter. That's messaging. That's hierarchy being shaped in real time. And imagine how that hits if you're Caitlin Clark, the player who flipped this franchise from borderline irrelevant to must-watch TV, from empty seats to playoff buzz. When you're the catalyst, the engine, the one moving jerseys and ratings, and you're watching the spotlight subtly shift while the organization can't even execute basic branding moves correctly, That's where resentment starts brewing under the surface. It's not about ego. It's about alignment. It's about feeling like the franchise understands who its cornerstone really is. And if that alignment keeps slipping, especially with contract uncertainty hovering over the league, this situation could escalate from social media beef to full-blown franchise crossroads. And what that could mean for the future. That's the part nobody in Indiana wants to think about.
Posted this. Who's responsible for this low-level, low-quality crap that got...
Niall!
Who's responsible for this? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This, okay? Caitlin Clark said, it says, Clark caught a glimpse of the Fever's post, but immediately noticed something wrong with the video, sharing a complaint in the comments. Respectfully, how am I supposed to watch this? Clark wrote, now I have a migraine. You see what I'm saying?
You feel that pressure building, right? Because let's not get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is not locked in Indiana for life. She's not handcuffed to the Indiana Fever forever. And after what she did in just one season, the league better recognize. Even missing 13 games with nagging injuries, she still put up 16.5 a night, grabbed boards, dropped nearly 9 dimes per game, earned all-star starter status, and more importantly, she flipped the entire franchise from an afterthought into must-see TV. Before she showed up, the Fever were drifting. After she arrived, sold-out arenas, national broadcasts fighting for airtime, valuation skyrocketing. That's not hype, that's impact. And here's what organizations forget. It's not just about winning games. It's about running a first-class operation that matches your superstar standard. The Los Angeles Lakers don't just keep LeBron James happy with roster moves, they operate like a gold standard machine. The Las Vegas Aces keep Aja Wilson locked in because every detail is elite. That's how dynasties are built. You don't land a generational talent and then move sloppy. You don't shift messaging. You don't post pixelated garbage and expect everything to be cool. Now zoom out. Caitlin's frustration isn't happening in a vacuum. The CBA chaos is hovering over the league. The Players Association drama. Rumblings about greed. Mixed messaging about unrivaled and overseas play. You've got stars like Breanna Stewart heading back to international ball after the narrative was "we're staying home." The messaging keeps shifting, trust keeps eroding, and she's watching all of it. League instability on one side. Franchise sloppiness on the other. That's a squeeze no superstar enjoys. And here's the cold truth. When her contract window opens, every team in the WNBA is lining up. Bigger markets. Cleaner operations. Stronger rosters. Sharper branding. The Fever's current advantage. They drafted her. That's it. And that advantage has an expiration date. Every small failure gets logged. Athletes remember who ran a tight ship and who fumbled the details. So this is the crossroads. If Indiana tightens up, builds around her, cleans the messaging, runs elite top to bottom, they lock in a decade of dominance. If they keep moving careless, they risk being the franchise that had a generational superstar and fumbled it. Now I'm throwing it to you. Are the Fever taking Caitlin for granted, or is this whole thing overblown? Drop your take in the comments. And if you rock with real, unfiltered WNBA breakdowns that don't sugarcoat the drama, hit that subscribe button and join the WNBA Vibe Squad, because we're breaking down every clutch moment, every beef, every power move all season long.